And now, meteorologist Dan Henry with your Weather First forecast.
Starting off with a look at your weather headlines for this upcoming weekend and your next work week. We're going to be starting off with some scattered storms early on your Saturday, possibly with some of those rumbles of thunder lasting through the daylight hours, although I think we're going to be drying out after the dinner time hour. Long term, a little bit drier, and also we're turning the heat back up. Temperatures back into the low to mid 90s by this time next week. Tropics, two areas of interest, neither of them expected to impact us here in Florida, but I'll take a look at those anyway in just a moment. Isolated showers this morning, temperatures very balmy. Scattered storms this afternoon with a couple downpours possible this evening, but for the most part we're going to be drying out after sunset, and then as we head toward midnight, mostly cloudy, 81 degrees on your Saturday night. The RPM model shows a hot mess out here for Saturday, at least during the midday section of the day, but I think because of that westerly breeze will be done probably by 6 or 7 p.m. For most spots, with that rain heading inland. As we head towards Sunday morning, a cloudy, humid finish once again with some of those showers possibly early on Sunday once again, but you'll be able to use the radar and dodge those downpours. Just keep an eye to the sky, of course, and if you hear thunder, head indoors for that downpour to finish. So as we look throughout the tropics, we do have an area of interest here, this area of low pressure well to the east of the Leeward Islands. It is tracking west, and the National Hurricane Center does give that area of low pressure a low chance of becoming a tropical cyclone. So that would be a tropical depression, storm, or what have you. But there's a lot of hurdles for this area of low pressure to jump through. There's a large area of dry air there over the Caribbean, and then there's also a large area of wind shear throughout the Caribbean and the western Atlantic. So development unlikely, and even if the storm were to develop, unlikelier still that it would impact Florida in any meaningful fashion. So no tropical threats for us for at least a week. Good news there. High red tide unfortunately continues, though, for our area beaches. That westerly breeze will continue to blow that acrid smell onshore, and yes, that it does include Manatee County now. There will be some gaps where the algae blooms aren't as thick in all places, but for the most part, high red tide from Manatee to Charlotte counties. Red tide present in our marine zones for your inland marine boating forecast, but as always, the farther you head into the Gulf, the better things get. Your 7-day forecast then does show a trend toward a little bit hotter and a little bit drier weather long term as we head toward the middle of August.